What's up everybody, and welcome back to the Mina channel. And today I have another video here for you, and this will be regarding Catherine. So this is my video for should you play Catherine. So I started this series a while ago with the Persona games regarding past Persona games, and if you play them, kind of just looking back into the Persona series and just kind of saying should you give them a try. And today I wanted to go about Catherine. So Catherine is made by Atlus and exactly by the same team that is working on and has been working on the Persona games. So in a sense, they're really related to them, and you actually have some cameos in previous games for some of the characters from Atlus. From some of the characters in Catherine. So really cool stuff. And let's go ahead and talk about that cameo before we start with everything. So with the release on Persona 3 Portable, we actually had a small cameo for the main character of Catherine. His name is Vincent, and Vincent basically is a normal guy. He has just a regular life and everything, and when you meet him in the bar, he just talks to you and talks about these crazy nightmares that he's having every night, and just kind of you meet him once in a while and he tells you more about his nightmares and everything. And basically this is crazy nightmares where he's becoming or everybody around him is a sheep, and he just has to kind of just escape from these nightmarish creatures that are chasing him. And it's really interesting. So back then, that was a cameo that we had in the Persona 3 Portable. Nobody knew what it was for. A lot of people assumed that this was a new character for a new Persona game, hence Persona 5 or something like that, and a lot of people really assumed that that's what it was. They announced Catherine as well. So Catherine comes out, brand new game, and a lot of people is really excited for it. What is Catherine? And Catherine is really interesting because it's nothing like any Persona games ever. It's actually nothing like most of Atlus games, to be honest with you. It's its own thing, and it has its own story. Pretty wacky, pretty mature, pretty kind of different, and it's just completely different from everything else. And let me just go ahead and tell you about the story. So as I told you earlier, the cameo pretty much told you a little bit about Vincent and what he's going through. So Vincent is a regular guy, and and you really just woke up and you find out that he's having these nightmares. He is dating this girl named Catherine, and Catherine is kind of just his girlfriend, and she wants to get married, and there's also this stuff this interaction with them that he's having, and you think it's pretty streamlined overall, but he's having doubts, and is he gonna get married, that kind of stuff, like adult stuff that he's dealing with. And then on the other hand, he has a couple friends that he hangs out with at this bar called Stray Ship. They spend pretty much all the time there, and most of your gameplay is gonna be there and at the nightmare. I'll go into the nightmare in a second. So one day he's hanging out with his friends at the bar, and he gets really drunk. He meets this girl, and I guess he's really drunk, and he ends up sleeping with her or something like that. And now he has like kind of like dissonance that he cheated on his girlfriend, and he's just dealing with that as well. And coincidentally, the other girl that he met is also named Catherine. So Catherine with a C, Catherine with a K, different kind of people, but you get the gist. So as far as the story goes, you kind of start making a couple decisions here and there, and the outcome of the decisions really affect the kind of gameplay that you get and the kind of story that you get, because the decision is really based on decisions based on the stuff that you reply to them and everything. So let's talk about the gameplay, because the gameplay gets played in different kind of parts. So I mentioned earlier that you spend a lot of your time in the bar, and the bar you actually get to talk around a lot of the different people, and you actually find out a lot of the people that you're talking to are actually experiencing the same nightmare that you have. But the trick is, because you go to the other dimension where the nightmares is happening, nobody actually remembers what's going on. They don't remember the other people, because they actually only see ships. Everybody else is a ship except for yourself. So it's kind of wacky and kind of weird in a sense, but you're able to kind of modify the way that they treat you and everything based on what you talk to them in the nightmare and in real life. So they both of them kind of just affect things a little bit, and it's pretty interesting how it works and everything. It's pretty weird mechanic. The other mechanic that you have is that you have a cell phone, and you actually text back and forth with Catherine's with both Catherines and with your friends and everything. And those decisions, those conversations actually affect how the story is going to progress as well. You have a meter in the corner, and that kind of corner, the meter kind of counts things around. Now, once you go into the actual nightmare, you actually have a completely different type of gameplay. You have puzzle-based style of gameplay where you have to push these blocks around to get to the top. It sounds easy, but it's actually really difficult because there are creatures that are chasing you, there are ships that are chasing you, there's all this stuff that is trying to stop you from going to the top. There are traps in a lot of these different blocks, so there's all this stuff that are trying to stop you from going above. There's also boss levels where there's actually a big giant creature that is chasing you, and it's all affected based on what's going on in reality. So reality and dreams are merged together in a sense, and they both affect each other. So once you finish a level, once you start a level, there's actually this kind of hub area where you can talk to the different ships, and you get to learn about them. They sell you stuff, you learn more about what's going on and everything. And this is all kind of like a mechanic, like I was telling you earlier. The people that you're meeting at the bar are the people that you are seeing in the hub area and everything. It's so interesting. And once you've done all that, you actually get to see it in this area, and this area basically has kind of like a question, kind of like a question that is more like in a moral sense, like, hey, in this scenario, what would you do? Would you do this or would you do that? And it's really no right or wrong answer, but you kind of just see what you will think or do in a situation like that. And it's really interesting because a lot of the questions, like I said, they really make you think what you will do in a situation like that. And those questions also affect your meter in the corner as well, whether it's good or bad or whatever. So all those actions, all those interactions, everything affects your outcome, and depending on the outcome you get a different result, different ending and everything. So the story can be replayed multiple times with different conversations, with different actions and everything. And that's such a good mechanic. It's such something that I wish that the Persona team will use more in Persona, because it's such an interesting way to play a game. You know, you get games that have that interaction, but that's it. You know, games that by Quantic Dreams, for example, like Beyond Two Souls and the robot game that they have, the Android, whatever it's called, and all these games, they have a similar thing where your actions affect the outcome, but that's it. That's the only thing. That's why a lot of people call these kind of games walking simulators, because all you do is walk and talk. But the difference between this and this kind of game is, one, the teams are really mature, and I think at some points it really hits home on a lot of the stuff that they go through. All of the people that you talk to are dealing through different stuff and everything. A lot of the points are really mature, and some of them you can really relate to, and some of the stuff is just interesting to learn about. And the other thing is, you have the puzzle aspect that you're going through, which is kind of like a risk and reward kind of thing, that you can actually advance farther, and you're forced to do through this stuff. It's a completely two different games put together into one, and it makes it really unique. If you like games like the Quantic Dreams game and that kind of stuff, then you should definitely get a chance to play Catherine. Now, going back to the question and the answer, should you play Catherine? I believe you should if you like puzzle-based games, if you like story-based games, and if you don't mind playing the game multiple times to get multiple endings to see what you get and everything. Some endings are really funny, like super funny, and some endings are a little bit on the more serious side, so you can get some endings that you like or dislike. Some characters are really more likable than others, but there's a lot of stuff that you can really get to learn from the different characters and everything. The Persona team is really good about character development, and in this game is no exception. All the characters are really well fleshed out, and there's a lot of good storytelling depending on what you interact with them and everything. Anyway, so what did you think about Catherine if you played it? If you haven't, do you want to give it a try? You can now get this game in the store with either Steam or the PlayStation 3, and luckily it's coming out for PS4 and Xbox One soon, again in October. So if you want to give it a try on the PC or the PS4, I'm sorry, PS3 or the Xbox 360, you should definitely check it out. And if you haven't yet, this game is still relevant. I am playing the Catherine Full Body right now, and it's kind of the same in a sense, it plays the same way and everything. Basically, the deal is they added a new character with new story and everything. So even now with full body, it doesn't affect the kind of game that it is. It's still the same way, and these review is still valid for that as well. Anyway, if I were to rate this game, I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10 because of the kind of story that it tells is really interesting, really unique. Never actually played something like this, whether it's the puzzle side or the way with the interaction. It's just really well fleshed out and really well thought out. Anyway, what do you think about this? Again, if you are new, consider liking and subscribing, and thank you so much for watching this. I'll see you next time.